Guys, welcome back. All right, so real quick, I just wanted to mention that as of the end of January and then going all the way until February 14th, I'll be doing a giveaway every single day just to kind of celebrate. So I'll be doing that, of course, in this series of videos. This is always where I do like a tangible item that I give away. So you guys might want to start catching those every day. And that's my newest update. Okay, I just wanted you guys to know that's coming. And so this bonus message just starts out with one simple thing, which is my my dog is at the point where he knows the way to his favorite places now. And so when we're driving the car to go to his favorite hiking place, he gets very excited. And then when we are coming home, as soon as we get to our gate of our house, he gets really excited in the car and starts, barking and stuff. And I just think it's adorable because he's so excited to go to the places that he loves. And that's, he knows where the car is driving, so he gets very excitable. It's really cute to see the excitement building when you know that, like, oh my gosh, we're going to that place. So I feel like somebody has excitement building because here I am talking about when we know where we're going and it gets exciting. This is into the unknown. Our first card totally changes that, doesn't it? First off, 7 is a divine number, so I do want to mention that. And a divine number is, it's where the 7 is like where the sky meets the earth. It's this perfect, balanced, harmonious place where two different things can come together. Although she's in, kind of like a masquerade outfit and all dark clothing with a blindfold on, it's actually daylight around her, and she's in this gorgeous environment, and she's got blue skies with a rainbow behind her. So she's unaware that she's already in a fabulous location, right? All she has to do is take off the blindfold. When we say that we're going into the unknown, your life is already marvelous. She's also holding a key here in one hand on a long chain. This key, it's interesting because she has the key to unlock the next phase of her life, but she does need to be a little bit more active in, sometimes we go, well, I don't know what's going to happen next. On one hand, we kind of do, because it's going to be, what do we want to have happen next? If we become an active participant, if she reaches up and takes off that blindfold, she's going to see she's in an amazing place. She's going to see she's holding on to a key. She's going to figure out, maybe I want to stay here, or maybe I want to go use that key to open up something else, open up a different door. But she's going to fumble if she doesn't become a more active participant. So we start out with, I'm talking about my dog being all excited because he recognizes places now. He's learning a ton, and I see his little brain, like he's more and more aware of everything. I think pretty soon he'll try to drive the car himself over to the park. But, it's cute because she's willing to walk into the unknown without realizing that she's not at a disadvantage. It's not the unknown. She can create whatever she wants. We have solitude and we have security. Now, I actually only read these in the upright, so I'm going to flip them, even though you saw them both come out in the reverse. Solitude and security. I especially like the security card because we have a fire to warm us and provide light even in the darkness, but then look at the gorgeous place that we're in. I mean, we're in this gorgeous cave, and we get a view of the Milky Way. She may be feeling, so this might be someone who's feeling like they're in solitude. They may feel like, I'm headed for the next phase of my life, and I'm a little nervous. I don't know what's coming next. But it's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. She does know where she's headed next. There's somebody hasn't realized. If they take off that blindfold, they're going to be so excited. I think someone has been subconsciously moving toward what they want without realizing it. I don't know if this is somebody who's gravitating toward you or you gravitating towards something. But someone is concerned about their security. Will I have security if I move forward? Someone has been feeling like they're quite alone. But here's the thing, she's walking forward anyway. There's a forward motion in this card that says no matter what, someone is already on the way. They may not have even realized that they are already kind of fumbling, but things could be so much easier if somebody would take off that blindfold. We have the Hermit, Virgo energy here. Again, with that Solitude card and now the Hermit, this is somebody doing some deep dive, deep inside. They are choosing the darkness right now. And when I say the darkness, I just mean all these cards, every single one of these cards says that it's not daybreak yet. Okay. She thinks it's not day when it is. And then we have these other cards where we're seeing what she's seeing on the inside of that blindfold. We're seeing that, she wants security. She's kind of afraid to take off the blindfold because what if things look scarier? She feels alone, but somehow in the Solitude, there's a little bit of peace. Now we have the Virgo, the Hermit card. Again, I'm alone and keeping myself alone because there's this little piece of me that's just still sorting things out. I'm in the dark on purpose. Somebody tucked themselves away from the world and they're I think that someone's a little bit scared to come back out into the world. But let's talk about that because we got an Ace of Cups and we got a Judgment card. Oh. Okay, so unbeknownst to you, there may be someone, if this is someone that you're no longer with, they perhaps have not moved on at all from you, but rather have been kind of fumbling in the dark, afraid to reach out, afraid to try to have a reconciliation. Because again, what if it wouldn't go well? What if you won't have me back? So instead, I'm going to stay in the dark, stay in the unknown, but subconsciously they're gravitating that way anyhow. Why? Because the Ace of Cups is there. That's a heart. This is someone's heart. I'm full. I want to give this and I want this new beginning. I feel like someone is taking small steps toward a reconciliation no matter what. Now, this also could simply be, because I'm not really sure which character this is just yet. Maybe it'll get clearer, but someone has been keeping themselves solo and almost afraid to try again, because what if it just hurts? But they're being like subconsciously drawn toward or gravitating toward something anyway. They can't quite help it. There is something beautiful up ahead, but we got to take off the blindfold. You or someone else has to take off the blindfold. We've got the Four of Wands in the reverse. See, this is the great, huge fear. The great big fear is, if I tried one more time and this didn't work out, that might be too devastating. That's how I look at this. So someone is intentionally, they're acting like they can't find their way forward when they are moving forward anyway. So there's a bit of contradiction. It's like, plants, if you put them on one side of a room where there's not a window, you will see their growth gravitates toward the light anyway. So even with this blindfold on, somebody is still fumbling their way into the unknown, but they keep saying, but it's dark, I can't see anything, I'm all alone. They don't have to be alone. And no matter what, they're still fumbling their way toward this. They're fumbling their way toward love, toward a renewal, but they are, I think, terrified that this would fall apart. We have a Two of Swords in the reverse. We have a Seven of Swords in the reverse. What is that? Hold on, because this is, somebody knows that there's only one way forward. It doesn't matter how long we fumble. We have to get to a point where if we're going to change things, if we're going to fix things, everything has to be out in the open. Everything has to be true. We can't have any lies. We can't have any more conflict where I don't want to open up 10,000%. And we have a Seven of Cups here. I think that someone is so scared. They don't know what the other person would say if they approached them. And I think that has gotten somebody so tangled up in their head that they basically put on a blindfold. But even with the blindfold on, they're still fumbling their way back towards you. But there is this knowledge that I have all this love. I want this to be a do-over, but it didn't work last time. And I know that the only way to address this is to lay all the cards on the table, hold back nothing, not be thinking that there can be an out. It's almost like somebody is aware that if they really want something, the only way is to go all in. But they don't know what the other person would think about that. So no wonder, I feel like there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of fear. And yet we began with my doggy being so excited to go home. You know, he sees our house coming up, and even though we're just at the gate, he starts to dance and bark, and he's so excited to run back into his house. Same thing when we go to his favorite park or wherever, he's so excited because he knows where we're going. I feel like this is all about somebody going somewhere, but this person is like blinding themselves to the fact that they're on their way back. I mean, come on. They're definitely on their way back here. We got a 6 of Pentacles. This is somebody who wants to have equal give and take. But they're not lying. They're pretending that they're still solo, but they're gravitating towards you anyway. They're gravitating toward, I don't know, it's almost like if somebody could sleepwalk their way to your house, or they don't even realize that they subconsciously are making these little steps to come back towards you. All the while, they keep thinking that they don't see the way forward. They're just fumbling. No, you're actually, just like a plant leans toward the sunlight, that's where they're headed. They're headed toward the thing, and they're bit by bit realizing. I think that the closer they get to this man, Ace of Swords and 8 of Swords here, the closer they get, the more certain they are. I think that they never moved on from this. This is somebody who's been stuck all along. There's the truth, sword of truth. And this is sunken at the bottom of a shipwreck. And yet there it is. You can sink it as deep as you want into the back of your mind. You're still on their mind. This romance is still on their mind. The fact that they really want equal give and take, still on their mind. The fact that they are so confused, they don't know what you would think if they did show up. So they're not making direct action to come in. They're doing it in a sideways, like they don't even realize they're gravitating towards you. But they are aware somehow, even in their gravitational state that's, pulling them towards you, they are aware that everything has to be laid on the table. Everything. And if they lay everything on the table, what will you think? They don't know. They don't have a clue. So this person is scared. Why did this start out with this idea of, the contrast of my dog being so excited to come home or any place that he recognizes? And now we have the exact reverse showing up in this story. Why do we see that? What does that mean? The Lovers. It's about returning. Birds are migratory creatures, so they fly back. It's a new season. It's a season where somebody comes back in. It's a choice that somebody makes. I'm asking, why do I see the difference between, my dog is so excited to go places that he knows where he's going, and this person is fumbling their way back toward where they want to be, all the while pretending that they don't know that they're headed that way. It's all the difference between making a conscious choice versus like having the subconscious take over. This is, I think the heart is leading the way for someone. It's an interesting energy here. This is definitely something where we see butterflies in this card as well. So we have some kind of, she's wearing a butterfly here on her hair, and there's several others. So we have a transformational energy here. What do we just get? We got the 6 of Wands, again, travel, but we got the Emperor in the reverse. So it would make somebody feel really successful to actually confidently. Now this is like the equivalent of my dog being happy in the car, seeing where we're going, knowing that we're going back to his little house, or, going to his favorite park. There's a success. There's, flying on this, hummingbird, following the nectar, following the sweet scent toward the victory, right? This would be somebody who is coming home and feeling amazing. And yet, dun, 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 what is this? Because we got a fly in the ointment on this storyline. This is the big scary. All along, this person's been scared of taking charge And now we still see them scared of taking charge. Death card. Something would have to change dramatically. Is this person ready to let go of something and take charge of something else? I think that they would have to let go of their fears. We have 10 of Pentacles. We have King of Swords. You know, I think the big scary for this person is if I take off the blindfold, admit where I've been heading all along, which is somehow to get back to your door. If I really admit that that's what I want, then I really have to admit that I'm scared you won't want me. But man, it would feel amazing to just say it out loud, to say, this is where I want to be. This is where I feel like this is where my success is. I would feel so good about that. But then the big scary is that I would have to really own that. I would have to mean it. And then I stand to lose if you say no, because you could say, it's all over. I'm not doing this with you again. Or you could say, let's start from scratch. And man, I'd feel like $1 million. But this is the gigantic thing. It's almost like somebody is so afraid of what would happen to their ego, because I think you and only you have the power to like sweep the rug right out from under this person's feet. There's something about you where you've got an ability to affect them more than anyone else. Yet the only way this person is maybe ever going to get the direction that they want to go in life is if they take off the blindfold, take responsibility for the choice that they're making, be willing to lay down all the ego. The ego has got to be gone. This person can't be afraid of, what are you going to say? Will you accept me, or will you cast me out? They have to own what they want, and they got to come in strong. This whole story is like, especially with this King of Swords in the upright, they got to own it. They got to say the truth of what they want, not just come in at it sideways. I think if this person had ever approached you sideways before, always like acting like they never laid their cards on the table to really say, I want this, I'm 10,000% committed to this, that's been the issue. All these are heavy cards of like commitment. I'm going to let my old behavior go, and I'm going to have a rebirth. The old me is not going to show up. 10 of Pentacles, I'm going to give this all I've got. I want this until I'm old and wrinkly. That's what I want. This is the life that I want. Someone has always kept themselves away from choosing the life that they want. And they did it through convincing themselves that they just didn't know, they couldn't find the way. I feel like if there was tons of hesitation on someone's part for a long time, they created their own confusion and obstacles because they weren't really ready to make the confident choice and really say, this is where I'm going. This is what my choice is. This is what I want. That's the big turning point here. If somebody wants to be as excited as my doggy is in the car when he loves to go to his favorite park, he loves to go to his favorite house, he loves his little doggy life. You got to be alert, you got to be aware, you got to be functioning, and you got to be present. And this person has somehow been scared to even let themselves feel that much excitement. Like, I'm so excited that I'm coming home to you. This person hasn't let themselves do that. They always kept one foot out the door, is what it seems like. And then something fell apart. Because if this is a situation where somebody is trying to sideways slide their way back towards you, but they're not really fully admitting what they want or why they're doing it, they have to first admit that to themselves. And unfortunately, that Emperor is still in the reverse. That has to go. But we saw the Death card right after it. So it is very possible. But this is somebody who's solo, who's single, who's alone, somebody who they've wanted some kind of security. They put themselves in this little cave because it was safer. I feel like if this is two people that broke up, even if that one person didn't give to the connection and they disappeared, they didn't go out and find somebody else. They actually stayed single and solo. They still wanted this. They've always wanted this, but they couldn't let themselves openly want it so much, because then if it didn't work out, they stood to lose too much. So that means they always live their life at like a half interested level. Well, you can't do that in a relationship. I guess you can, but then you're going to get kind of empty or meaningless situations, right? Because if you won't open yourself completely to it and say, I choose you, I pick you. I pick this life with you. I want to have this with you. I want our life together to be something that, we build a new life together. My old life, my single life, that's not what I'm doing because I'm with you. I want this and I want it for the long term. Someone has been, I think, terrified to commit to something for the long term. This might be mostly a story about someone who's been afraid to simply commit at all, afraid of commitment. And now they're stepping into the King of Swords in the upright. This could be somebody who's been very logical, very cold, but see, they can't stay logical and cold here because their subconscious won't allow it. They can keep their big old brain working, but there's always something here that with all this gravitational pull, with all of this subtle energy that their emotions are working on them. They can't help it. They can't get away from this. They've been stuck in it for a long time. Deep down, they know what the truth is. The truth is they really want a do-over here. They actually really want to give equally to this connection. They don't know if you do anymore. And so now enter our other big scary problem that they're facing is what if now you would cut me down by saying, I don't want to do this with you? I think this is one of those stories where somebody who's been very, I even want to say aloof. So the King of Swords is wonderful, but can be very aloof, can be someone that doesn't really say everything perfectly. But what they do say, they mean. Now we're just now seeing them in the upright. I don't know who they were in the past, if they had been in the reverse, and this is somebody that didn't speak up, that wasn't honorable, that wasn't truthful. This is somebody that dodged things, really. And now this is somebody in the upright. I don't think they can hide from the way they feel anymore. I think that's a big change. They can wear that blindfold, but even so, just like the plant reaching for the light, no matter how cold, logical, and aloof they are, saying, nope, I'm alone, I'm in solitude, nope, nope, nope. I don't know. This person might have been convincing themselves that they can just stay single, but somehow they still are gravitating towards you, which is interesting. That may be a shock when it's like they find that they've been sleepwalking their way to your house. I mean, I don't mean literally, I mean metaphorically, but there's something here where it's like are they getting it? Are they understanding this now? Hold on, that was too many. Are they understanding all this weird subconscious? Let's see. As I said, sleepwalking their way to your house. We have unexpected visitor. We have mountain, and we have home. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So. Look, I'm going to end this reading here and say someone may be on their way. The mountain, it does represent blockages, but if you see, we have the sun coming through, because it's almost like this man mountain has been tucked in a cave, which we already saw. Remember, they were hanging out in this cave before with by the way, with like a spirit of a buffalo. Buffalo is my animal, by the way. But I almost feel like there's been a dreamscape, with the security and with that buffalo in that card, like the story of the white buffalo woman and that kind of buffalo medicine and, dreamscape. I feel like maybe that's just it. Maybe this person, they can't help but gravitate towards you because even in their solitude, they've actually been healing and they've somehow continuously been moving your direction. But for someone to now, they are the obstacle. Okay. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be a man or a woman, but someone is realizing that the only obstacle to them coming home, to them being in the relationship that they want to be in and having the home that they actually know they really want, is simply themselves as the obstacle. And I think that light has been shed on that. Just like I keep saying, the plant that moves toward the sunlight, they can't help it. It's kind of the same thing. We see this obstacle, and the obstacle has been, this person still is gravitating toward the light. So it's more visible to them. They are their own obstacle. They are the one who's been scared. But now to have this unexpected visitor and the home, I think this could go in two ways. I think it could be that the unexpected visitor in their own mind was them realizing how much they want to go home to you, or to build a home, or what does a home look like? What would they imagine a home to feel like and look like? And I think that's the thing that they've wanted all along. They ran from. They then said they don't know how to get back to that, and yet they've been fumbling their way toward this all along. And I don't know if somebody suddenly like arrives on somebody's doorstep and is almost like, I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, that in this storyline, that could be somebody's first words, like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I felt like I needed to come home. You know, something like that. Even if it's not been like the two of you have a home together, somehow you are home to them in this story. There's something about a time here also, because we see the clock. And let me see if I can. Sorry, my eyeballs are not that great, so hold on. It looks like it's almost 8 o'clock. It is 7:50 on this clock. 7:50 on the clock next to the door. So if somebody is showing up right around dinner time, but and that's 27. So I don't know, maybe tomorrow, the 27th. Interesting story. Please do remember, these are only stories. The only things that ever come true in life are the things that we make come true through our free will. And of course, everyone else has their free will. So just know I am not a psychic. I don't pretend to be. I don't tell you what to do with life or how you should do it or what's going to happen. That's all up to you. These are stories for entertainment. But if you are inspired by something and you go, I dig that. That's beautiful. You know, only take the positives, leave behind anything that doesn't put a smile on your face. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. I'm honored that you're here. And lots of love to everybody on whatever journey you find yourself on. Mwah. Bye, guys.